Listen up. If you hunt or guide, this conversation isn't academic. It's the difference between walking away and not walking at all. When you square off with a charging grizzly or glass a bull elk that weighs close to 1,000 pounds, you don't want cosmetics or marketing. You want a cartridge that dominates. A cartridge that doesn't just strike, it stops. That is the cold, honest truth we live by on the mountain and in the timber. People throw around numbers without understanding what they mean. Kinetic energy is not a marketing bullet point. It's the silent force that turns a bad situation into a survivable one. When a bullet carries velocity and mass in the right package, it drills through sinew, shatters heavy bone, and leaves the motor function of an animal in ruins. That's not luck. That is sectional density, construction, and velocity aligned with surgical terminal performance. By 2025, ballistic engineering has pushed past conventional boundaries. New cases, new powders, and new projectile designs have rewritten what counts as enough. Hunters now field cartridges that wouldn't have existed a decade ago. Rounds that reach out farther, penetrate deeper, and retain devastating authority at extended ranges. If you want to drop a moose clean at 800 yards, anchor an elk across a basin, or stop a predator in thick timber, your choice of cartridge matters more than your optics or your trigger pull. First up in the real-world toolbox is the .338 Lapua Magnum. This is not a plinking round. This is long-range artillery in a rifle format. Launched with 250 to 300 grain projectiles at velocities in the neighborhood of 2,900 to 3,000 feet per second, you're looking at roughly 4,900 foot-pounds leaving the muzzle. That kind of energy chews through a heavy shoulder and keeps going. The price is weight and recoil. Rifles can tip past 10 pounds, and the kick will remind you are not shooting a .22. Treat it like an artillery piece. Fit it with a high-quality muzzle brake and premium optics, and it becomes the one-shot solution when lesser tools fail. Then there is the workhorse every professional guide respects, the .375 Holland & Holland Magnum. Born over a century ago, this cartridge has a reputation earned in the worst places on Earth. When loaded with 270 to 300 grain bullets at around 2,600 to 2,800 feet per second, it produces near 4,500 foot-pounds. That moderate velocity is the secret. Bullets hold together instead of fragmenting, giving deep, straight-line penetration you can bank on in close, chaotic encounters. For dangerous game, Africa's infamous Big Five or an angry Alaskan Bruin, this round is the measured professional you want beside you. This section is only the opening salvo. Up next, we dig into the modern Speed Kings, the efficient Western picks, and the old-school thumpers that still decide fights up close. Which of these rounds would you trust when the odds are stacked against you? Now we break into the next tier, the cartridges that bridge worlds. Blistering velocity for loner shots, old-school heft for up-close chaos, and new designs that quietly rewrite the rulebook. Each of these rounds earns its place by solving a real problem in the field. No marketing, no hyperbole, just results. First, the modern speedster, the .28 Nosler. Brought into the scene in 2015, this cartridge is a turbocharged, long-action solution. It hurls 160 to 185 grain projectiles at roughly 3,200 to 3,300 feet per second. That equates to as much as 4,000 foot-pounds of energy on impact. What you get is a flatter trajectory and more retained velocity at extreme distance than older magnums of similar weight. In practical terms, that means smaller aiming corrections when the wind starts playing tricks and better terminal performance on an uphill, downwind shot at a big-bodied animal. The trade-offs are clear. It will chew a barrel faster than standard cartridges, and factory ammo can be scarce in some places. But when you need to reach out past 600 yards and deliver a single, decisive hit, the .28 Nosler is a tool built for that exact job. Next up is a cartridge that lives where angles are tight and anonymity is deadly, the .457 Govt. This is the sort of round whose whole personality is blunt force. Originally designed for the black powder era and updated through the decades, modern loadings send bullets from 325 to 545 grains at velocities between 1,600 and 2,000 feet per second. Its effective envelope is inside of 200 yards, and inside that window it is monstrous. When you're busting through alders, twisting a heavy animal at point blank, or trying to stop a charging predator in heavy cover, the 457-0 Govt delivers a freight train hit that collapses lungs and ends motor function fast. Pair it with a lever action platform and you have a fast handling system that refuses to be elegant. And in a fight, that's a virtue. Then there's the new favorite in the West, the 6.8 Western. Developed by Winchester and Browning, this cartridge is a reminder that clever geometry beats brute force when conditions demand it. It launches 165 to 175 grain bullets at about 2,900 to 3,000 feet per second, producing in excess of 3,200 foot-pounds of energy. It lives in short-action rifles and eats wind for breakfast. For mountain hunters glassing drainages and punching shots to 300 to 400 yards, sometimes farther, the 6.8 Western gives Magnum-level terminal performance with recoil that is far easier to manage than heavier Magnums. It's precise, efficient, and frighteningly effective with bonded high ballistic coefficient projectiles. Rounding out this section is the 7mm precision rifle cartridge, the PRC. Designed for extreme, ethical long-range hunting, it launches 160 to 180 grain bullets at speeds from about 2,900 to over 3,100 feet per second. What separates the 7mm PRC is its ability to keep bullets stable and energetic at distances where lesser cartridges shed effectiveness. Pick the right projectile, and you get a combination of low drag, high retained energy, and predictable terminal performance beyond 600 yards. Each of these cartridges solves a problem a different way. Speed without penetration is a paper tiger. Big bullets that fail to shed energy before the shoulder are wasted potential. The smart hunter matches the physics of a cartridge to the mission and the terrain. Next part, we'll map exact bullet choices, real-world load examples, and the ethical shot windows you must respect to make a one-shot kill more than just hope. If you want to turn physics into a promise, bullet selection is where the deal is sealed. Match the projectile to the animal, the terrain, and the distance, and everything else becomes secondary. We're not guess running here. We are stacking sectional density, construction, and retained velocity so that when the shot lands, it does what you planned. Stop the animal now, cleanly and ethically. Start with sectional density and construction. For heavy-shouldered game, you want projectiles that keep their shape and momentum. That means bonded cores or solid, non-expanding bullets for animals that present thin entry angles and thick bone between you and the vitals. For long-range trophy work, look for bullets with ultra-high ballistic coefficient so they fight the wind and arrive with energy to spare. In practical terms, pick a bonded or monolithic bullet in a weight that gives you a G1BC worth of ballistic forgiveness and a sectional density high enough to punch through heavy bone. Here are real-world pairings that work in the field. For the 338 Lapua Magnum, choose 280 to 300 grain monolithic or bonded bullets designed for deep penetration. For the 375 Holland & Holland Magnum, lean on 270 to 300 grain soft point or controlled expansion bullets when you need tissue disruption plus penetration. For the 28 Nosler, favor 170 to 175 grain high BC match-style bullets loaded for controlled expansion at distance. For the 6.8 Western, use 170 grain bonded or polymer-tipped rounds to balance flat trajectory and bone-busting penetration. For the 7mm PRC, pick 175 grain ELD-type bullets that preserve integrity at extreme ranges. And for the 457-0 Govt, heavy hardcast or heavy for caliber solids in the 350 to 545 grain range are your answer when the shot corridor is close, messy, and unforgiving. Load choice matters as much as the projectile. Where penetration matters, avoid ultra-fragmenting hunting bullets. Where expansion and energy dump matter, pick a premium expanding construction rated for the speed you are shooting. If you are sending a high-velocity long-range projectile, choose a bullet designed to remain intact at impact velocities above 2,500 feet per second. Now, the brutal truth about ethical shot windows. The shot is ethical when you can reasonably predict one-shot incapacitation within the distance, angle, and conditions you face. If your rifle ballistic combo drops velocity below the threshold where chosen bullets reliably expand and penetrate to the vitals, you're outside the ethical window. That threshold moves with species, shot angle, and terrain. Practice with your exact rifle and ammunition from field positions until you can call wind, distance, and holdovers without guessing. Tools and accessories are not optional. A quality muzzle brake on heavy magnums, a reliable chronograph to confirm your true velocities, and optics that make wind visible are mandatory. Ballistics software is useful, but nothing replaces range work with the load you plan to hunt with. Final piece, mindset. The cartridge is not your savior. Your training and judgment are. You choose the right tool, practice until your instincts match the physics, and then execute under pressure. When the moment comes, you will not hope, you will know. That is what separates a shooter from a hunter, and a hunter from someone who got lucky.